Right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Marketing with C. This is week 4 on our journey towards £100,000 in the fitness industry. I'm documenting the entire journey of me going from 0 to 100,000 to show you the steps that I am taking each and every week in order to get to that goal. Now, what's the reason for that? Once I've reached that goal, which I will, I know I will, because I've done it in other businesses. Once I've reached that goal, you can look back at all these videos and be like, what did Caesar do? Maybe you are in the same position where you're building an online business and, you're kind of trying to guide yourself towards success. That's exactly what I'm doing with these weekly sessions. I'm showing you the strategy that I'm picking and I'm kind of, saying, all right, this is what I'm going to do this week. And then I fucking go and execute like I just did inside of week 3. And then we sit down and we analyze what happened. Did the strategy work? Have we moved forward? So last week, we had 2 main focuses, which we always do. We have a focus on content. This is what we do with social media in order to grow the social media pages. So eventually, we can use them to make offers and make money. And then 2, what do we do with the program design? Because, we need something to sell. I need to once I make an offer, I need something to deliver. Yeah? So each and every week, we sit down and we're like, what can I do? Why do I do this? Because in reality, there's so many things. There's so much to do and so little time. Yeah, there's so little time. Actually, as a matter of fact, this week, I kind of calculated how much time have I spent on each and every single little task. Yeah. And overall, my productive focus time was about 40 hours on doing these things. And I still feel like I need way more time, right? 40 hours. That's because I run other businesses. 40 hours is still crazy amount of fucking time. So let's have a sip on the coffee and let's analyze what has happened during week 3 so we can move forward with week 4. We start off with social media. Our main target was to post twice a day on the main pages. That's CK Shreds and Caesar King on Instagram. Now, the reason we chose that target is because last week we haven't reached it, so which meant something in my system of me, guiding myself towards it, something was broken. I wasn't able to do it. But this week, I said, you know what? Let me fucking make sure that I will. So I didn't change my goal. I just wanted to make sure that this goal is being reached. And as a matter of fact, I can say with happiness that, let's move this bin out of the way so I don't keep knocking into it. I can say that goal has actually been reached. So what do? We start off with Caesar King, which is my normal main page. Yeah. This is like a day in life page. It's not necessarily fitness focused. The goal was post 14 times, which is twice a day. Tick, we did it. All right. Twice a day. All right. Shreds, we also posted twice a day. So in essence, that's the other page, the 30,000 followers page. In essence, we've reached that goal. TikTok and YouTube, post once a day. I've posted 8 times, which 7 was the requirement. We did it, right? We did it. Yeah. Why did I do that? Because consistency is one of the key elements of growing on social media. And even if I'm trying to plan better strategies for delivering a message, let's say I want to do more filming videos where I talk, rather than just grabbing attention type of videos. Any system, regardless of what the system is, it ain't going to fucking work if we're not consistent. And last week, despite of me having beautiful systems in place, I wasn't consistent enough in order to post twice a day. And then this week we fixed it. So now moving forward, all right, what do I want to do? I want to make sure that this coming week, I am continuing with a strategy and I'm posting twice a day. And I'll tell you what, in all honesty, it wasn't fucking easy. It wasn't easy doing it because there were many challenges stepping into my way. We had a heat wave in England, which meant that I have a good sleeping regime. Usually I go to sleep at 8, wake up at 3. But because it was super fucking hot, I couldn't sleep. There was one night on Tuesday where I didn't even get to fucking sleep. So instead of sleeping, I just got up and started working. But that took a back burner on Wednesday and Thursday. How long can a man fucking last on no sleep? You do an all-nighter, yeah, that's fun. Back in days, to think all-nighters will really kind of allow me to achieve more. But the reality is, it's then I'm sacrificing my energy and, focus levels on those consecutive days. It wasn't something I've done on purpose, But basically, the thought is this. It's like, all right, the heat wave ruined it. What can I do in the future to make sure that doesn't? Get an AC machine. Unfortunately, all the AC machines in UK, Argos and all the other big stores, they sold them out. Now we approach in September, which most likely will mean that I won't require an AC machine anymore. So if I can get my hands on one, I will, because it will be beneficial anytime it comes to the time when it is a heat wave again. I can't fucking sleep because it's 30 degrees in the room. But either way, what am I saying? We did it, all right? We did do it, and we managed to achieve our goal of consistency. And that's what I'm going to write here, all right? Consistency. Because that's something I just want to keep this week. I'm not going to change this goal. I'm going to keep it here on a board. I want to post twice a day on my Instagram pages, once on TikTok, once on YouTube Short. Now, what happened, all right? What were the results of me posting in this type of way? All right? We repurposed the content for TikTok, which is not the best strategy when it comes to growing on social media, but we managed to gain extra 275 followers on our page. Pretty good. Let me get the scissors, and we're going to stick it, all right? We're going to use some blue tack, and we're going to stick it on our little planning board so we can keep track of what is happening. Now, why do we do this? I say that each and every week. Obviously, we don't have any offers yet. We haven't created them. We're slowly creating everything. We are in week 4. But I still want to continue doing social media because I believe that once I do make an offer, at least I have some sort of audience, you know, people in front of me where it's going to be much easier me having an offer and actually having some people I can talk to rather than me creating a beautiful offer and having nobody. Yeah. So that's the reason we do social media. TikTok. Beneficial stuff happened. YouTube, once again, we repurposed content. It's not the best strategy, but we've gained 12 new subscribers. That's something. We're moving forward. And even in a time where we're not expecting much results because we're not really pushing hard for social media content as of yet. Well, we kind of are, but you know what I mean? There is, we can improve this once we got everything set up, all the systems are set up. That's still pretty good. 12 subscribers new on YouTube this week. We posted 8 times. And we're going to continue with that flow. Now, CK Shreds, right? This is our page on Instagram that we focusing on fitness. The idea was that we had a certain plan for this week, right? The plan was post twice a day. That's ticked off. 7 workout swipes. Why? Because I've explained this little system in a previous week, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but basically my belief is what happens on social media. Once you start posting, you can post in a few different ways. You can replicate viral content, which works, and then if you replicate it, you know, you do a few videos, you keep checking your analytics. Maybe one of them will stick and produce results, maybe not. You have your ideas, so this doesn't have to be a replication of someone else's idea. You can have your own idea and you test it out. This is like a little testing phase. Now, once you get some sort of result, you see that, all right, this is being promoted to other people, or I'm gaining followers from this type of post. You double down and you recreate the same type of post again and again and again. And eventually you hit a little golden piece of content where it's proven to produce results time and time over again. Then you have a system. You're like, all right, if I make this video, I've made it a few times, it keeps producing results. It keeps gaining me new followers or doing whatever it is that I want it to do when it comes to content. Then you got your golden piece of content. And we thought that we found one. Right? We thought we found one because we had a few different times where it actually got over 200,000 views, and we got like an extra 1,000 something followers from that piece of content that we just kept replicating time and time over again. But right now we're in a phase where I'm not too sure whether it's still a golden piece of content. Right? I'm not too sure. I still post it. It still works, but it's not amazing. There's nothing amazing about it. So the reality is this. We would need to go back and start doing again. Trying out new ideas, trying out new viral pieces of content to try and find that golden piece of content. But the truth is, it's a busy fucking week and I need to make some sacrifices. So rather than me trying to chase new viral pieces, rather than me trying to throw anything new, I'm not going to do anything too different to what I've done this week. We're going to aim to post 7 workout videos as I did last week, with a few additional pieces of content, whatever I fancy, all right? And we going to try and focus on implementing just one different thing, all right? Because this is important to me and it's going to lead me to my program in a second. talking videos, all right? Talking vids. Yeah, 3 times. 3 talking vids this week. Why? Because at the moment I'm posting a lot of content that's like attention grabbing in a way, you know, me flexing, me training. That's fine. That's good. Yeah, it works. But what I want to do in reality is I want to refine my ability to communicate with the world. All right. That's one of the main reasons I'm running this business. I'm running this little project here. I want to become a better communicator. Fitness is something I'm passionate about and something I have a great level of knowledge, as you know, alongside of other passions that I have. And I want to be able to communicate my message in an efficient way. Because if I can do that, if I can learn how to become a better communicator, then I believe everything else that I will do in my future projects is going to be way fucking easier. All right. So despite of me aiming for 100K, yeah, the 2 things that I'm really getting out of running this project is 1, developing systems that are proven to work. Yeah. And 2, I'm becoming a better communicator. So talking videos are important for me because of that reason. And the other side of that is when I'm posting talking videos, what I tend to see is like there's better engagement, people get to know me. So in the future, when I do make an offer, they trust me a little bit more. All right. So that's basically the idea behind the program, behind the content. So let's just stick that in. All right. With this CK Shreds Instagram page, we posted 14 times this week. All right. And the truth is, let's have a quick look. We've gained a few new followers, not a crazy amount, nothing crazy happened. 23 new followers. Now the page is on 32,703 subscribers or followers, whatever you call them. All right. So we keep moving. Now, Caesar King. This is the naughty page that there's nothing really happening here. You know, this is the page that lost its soul. And I've had a few different targets for this page for this week. Post twice a day. I did that. Take a risk. Post talking video. I didn't do that. Maybe there's something stopping me from doing it, you know? Something deeper internal. This page has been pretty shallow. I have certain strategies that work, you know, first trap type of content. But unfortunately, I feel like the page lost character. And I need to communicate with the people in a better way. Talking videos that I'm afraid to post on this page for some reason. So I didn't do that. And this week, we're going to try and post at least one of those type of videos. All right. So what has happened to this page? This page just stagnated. You know, some people came, some people left, but we're on the same amount of followers. That's the second week in a row. 102,247 followers. The exact same amount we've been on. And that doesn't mean it's the same amount of people, nothing happened. Some people left, new people came. But there's not a lot. There's not a lot on this page. There's not a lot on this page. So we keep moving. The idea is pretty simple. Do what we did this week. Keep the consistency because that's one of the most important elements of this strategy. And add talking videos. Simple. All right. Ain't going to be simple to execute, but simple. All right. Okay, guys. So that's the strategy for our content. Now, program. What was our mission? Well, with the program, without going into too much depth of what we're doing, because this process has been explained in the previous weeks, the idea is simple. Eventually, once the program's ready, we make an offer. We lead them to a strategy call where we convince them that this offer is good and it's a sales call in a way. And then we offer the program. But in order to be able to do that, we must have a program to deliver on. You know what I mean? I need the program to be in place. But this is the question that I'm answering for myself. What is the real reason why I'm building this program? Let me show you the real reason why. Yeah? Let me show you the real reason why. The real reason why I'm delivering this program is because I want to become a better communicator. I want to have the ability to communicate my message with efficiency. So whenever it comes to this program, the main reason why I'm doing it is because I know something. I've got the know-how, I've got the knowledge, but I want to be clear about how I deliver that knowledge. And when it comes to fitness and training, there are many different ways for you to get fit. All right. Obviously, I have certain strategies, certain systems that I've used myself, I've used with my clients, but now I need the ability to clearly communicate that message to the people that come and join me. And in a way that's efficient to me to deliver that message, which means a video course, usually. You know what I mean? Someone signs up to my program. Rather than me having to explain everything straight from the start to everyone individually, I just send them to a bunch of videos. They watch them. They're like, all right, that makes sense. Okay? Now, because everyone's different, this means that there are different programs that they sign up on. And I don't need all the programs to be ready, but I need at least 4 to 5 programs to be in place in order for me to be able to start selling this thing. Okay? So, at the moment, we're creating our first program. Yeah? What comes down to creating a first program? For me, creating a first program comes down to having a system to deliver that message. So let me explain, because I'm making it confusing. Like right now, communicating it in a bad way. If I have an idea, let's say I want to teach someone how to make tea. I know it's simple and stupid, but let's say I want to teach someone how to make a tea. And they don't have a clue how to make a tea. They don't even know what a fucking kettle is. Yeah. In order for me to be able to teach them how to make a tea through a video, I want to have a system that I can replicate time and time over again. So the same system that I will use to teach you how to make a tea, I can then use for teaching you other things. So that's what I'm trying to develop here with this first program, because then I can reuse that same system for the following things. And I've been trying to learn how to best and most efficiently deliver a message. And I found the process, which is a 4-step process. And the steps go like this. First, explain the why, all right? Why do I want to teach you how to make a tea? Tea is a stupid example, but we continue with it. Well, I could say that, maybe your in-laws, your girlfriend's or fiance's parents are coming around the house and they're British and they love drinking fucking tea. Yeah. And you want to impress them, but you don't know how to make the fucking tea. Yeah? So that's the reason you're going to watch this video right now, because I will teach you how to make a tea. So the why is the first thing, the reason why. So I'll start the program with the why. Then I'll show you the what. Then I move on to a how, and then I move on to a now. The what would show the steps. So I would say, I have these 3 steps, and if you follow these 3 steps, you will know how to make the perfect cup of tea. Perfect. What is out the way? Then I'll show you the how, all right? I'll dive into the individual steps. I'll show you. Step 1, boil the kettle. Step 2, put the tea bag in a cup. Step 3, pour the water into the cup and then top it with some milk for the British. You know what I'm saying? Those are the steps. I teach you the steps. And then now is basically the closing message. The call to action is like, what else do I want you to do? So whenever I'm creating this program, my idea is this. All right, I'm helping someone. I have an idea for a program. Let's say someone in a fitness space is just starting to go to the gym. They don't have a clue. They don't know nothing about progressive overload, nothing about building muscle. What's the first program I introduce them to? I can introduce them to a program called Starting Gains, which is something that I'm working on right now. So my idea is this. All right, I can have the program. Yeah, that's easy. But how do I deliver the know-how about the program in the most efficient way? So basically, that's the system that I'm testing out, and that's the system that I'm going to roll with. And I know it sounds really simple, but in order for me to even find a way to be able to do this or find this system, that took me a hell of a lot of fucking time. So what we're doing this week is we're basically filming all the content for that program in this type of way, all right? With the why, what, how, now system for each video. And that's basically it. So this shit in itself takes fucking load of time. This takes a load of time. Hence we are here, week 4, baby. Hopefully, by the end of the week, I don't know how close I'm going to get to it, because as I said, I'm becoming curious about how quickly it takes me to create one program. At the moment, I've already done 1 week. Yeah. So the second week, the idea is to find out by what point have I filmed, edited, and uploaded. All right. I started it on the 10th, which was last week. And then I'm going to do a finish date right underneath it. So maybe it will be this week that I filmed, edited, and uploaded it to the site. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm approaching it from a point of curiosity. And I'm testing this system of why, what, how, now. So that's it. That's the aim for the week. All right. Here we are. In essence, week 4 is all planned out. We're not even focusing on bringing new clients in or anything, because none of that makes sense yet, because we don't have a program. So we're creating a program. We continue in with the social media. So once the program is ready, we can launch and kind of get it into people's hands. This is week 4, marketing with C, baby. I'll see you in week 5 to tell you how much progress we've made and where we're at. At the moment, we're creating a program. and focusing on creating a good system for consistency with content.